Love you anyway.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. We're here having our meal if Wanda can find her plate.
Yes.
It's kind of a chore. Our computer is
acting ugly.
Acting ugly on us now.
It's almost 2 years old. And probably my fault, but I don't unplug it. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm Wanda.
And I am Danny from Deep South Homestead.
I forget to unplug the computer, and so it's always plugged up, so it's draining the battery, I guess. So now I've got to buy a new battery.
Yeah, when we unplug it, the computer just goes dead now. So
there's no battery backup.
Yep.
It's messed with me for 2 days now when I'm trying to upload. If I bump it, the little cord pops out and it all goes away. So if somebody bumps it now, we'll go away. And
we'll go away. It will be a while getting back because it takes a while to get it up.
So if one of us bumps this table and we go away, I'm sorry because the computer is having issues.
Yeah.
No battery backup. Yeah. Okay, so today, and I can't tell if you can see or not, but
the camera up there, and I know.
The salad. I have fresh tomatoes.
Fresh.
Oh, this is the Cherokee purple.
Cherokee
tomatoes.
purples is the only ones we like to eat fresh.
They're awesome. Once we start eating those, we're done with the others.
The rest of them can just go by the wayside. This is a
until
fresh
these run out.
Yeah, until these run out. Yeah.
And then I have fresh asparagus. I'm still getting asparagus. Fresh cucumbers, and we had our first fresh gypsy pepper and marconis that we planted. Ours have not been making, so that's why we went to the U-Picket. But these are our first ones. We got, what, 2 or 3 off each one?
Got two off of them, yeah.
Yeah, not much.
Not much. Plus we got some jalapenos.
And then salad dressing. Okay, the salad dressing came from town. These are the lady peas. And that's what the thumbnail is the lady peas. So we're going to try those in a few minutes and just see what they taste like. This is my first time cooking our lady peas. I've just been shelling and stashing.
Shelling and canning, putting them back.
I've been canning some, putting some in the freezer.
Yeah.
So
my plate's a little bit different, guys. I have a little bit different diet. Of course, I have the where am I at here? Here I have the Cherokee purple tomatoes on mine. Of course, we have our beef. I have to have protein every 2 hours, so I eat meat every 2 hours. Or beans or whatever. Not beans, but nuts. Then we have our own rattlesnake beans. We have rattlesnake beans here. We have Deep South Homestead carrots. I have some lady peas. And I have some candy figs. Straight from the tree. Everything here is from our place except the meat right now.
And except my salad dressing.
And her salad dressing.
And the candy figs didn't come straight from the tree. I candied them. They came fresh off the tree.
They came off our tree. Yeah, but
I candied them.
But they're from Deep South Homestead.
They're whole figs. And you guys look for a video, possibly day after tomorrow, on how to can whole figs.
Yeah.
So
they're awesome, guys.
Danny will eat those every day.
Yep.
For breakfast. So he's commissioned that we need 52 quart jars.
55.
No, that's right, 55, because he wants extras.
I want an extra in case one week I get happy and I eat more.
Yeah. So he's going to shoot for 55 quart jars of canned whole figs. Right now I've put up 8 in 2 days, right? 3 the first day, 5 yesterday.
Yeah.
We have enough to maybe do 4 or 5 more tonight.
Yeah.
So we're gradually going to work up to the 55 jars.
We're going to try to see if the birds will leave us alone. We're having to go out almost, what would you say, every 4 hours and pick?
Mm-hmm.
About every 4 hours we're having to go pick figs.
If something's ready, we have to get it because even going out first thing in the morning at daylight, then we go out like 10, around 1, around 4, and then at dark.
Yeah.
So we're going out there I don't know how many times a day. And we're getting anywhere from 4 or 5 figs to about a quart of figs each time we go out.
Yeah.
And so then I process them, because last year and the year before I always put them in the freezer, saved up, and then did a big batch. This year I'm going to do them fresh. They taste better when they're done fresh. If you freeze them and then can them, they're good, but not near as good as what they do fresh. So I'm doing a little along.
Country High Homestead says we're canning green beans and potatoes under the carport on the Camp Chef grill, and it is storming. Guys, we have had no rain. It's like 100. It's been way over 100 degrees here.
Oh, Brenda got crop dusters going over her house this morning spraying. No.
Oh, no.
And she's had so much trouble with so much things, and that's the last thing you need is a crop duster, you know?
Yeah.
If they went over these fields, we'd be done.
Oh, Danny'd be calling somebody.
Country High said they had some hail too there. See, now where we're at, Brian Lorry went to town a couple of 3 days ago.
Yesterday.
Well, the first time.
Okay.
Couple of 3 days ago, and it hailed in Wiggins,
yes,
which
it hailed.
is 6 or 8 miles from here, 10, whatever.
Probably 10.
10 miles from here. Then yesterday, we were watching the weather. It was thundering like crazy. Back here on the back was just as sunny as it could be. You looked out toward the lorries. It was so black. It just looked horrid. And Brian had headed to town at that time. When he came back, he said it was flooding. Some of the streets were
actually... He said it was like hurricane weather.
Hurricane force winds, flooding in town. We got no rain. We got a little bit of wind, but I mean not hurricane, not, 15, 20 miles, 30 maybe?
Maybe 15 miles an hour, 20.
Yeah, not much bad. So, should fresh figs be stored in the refrigerator until you have enough to can? You can.
No more 2 days.
Yeah, within 2 days they're going to start going mushy on you. If you're going to do fig jam, or you're going to do strawberry figs or fig preserves, it won't matter. But if you're going to do whole figs within 2 days, you do need to can them. The recipe is so easy that if you only had enough to do a couple of 3 jars, you could do that every day if you needed to. Or save up for 2 days, and whatever you have in 2 days, then process them. So pretty much figs you can leave them in the fridge to eat fresh for about a week, right? And if you're going to make preserves and stuff.
No, you can't. They won't last a week.
Yeah, they should.
They won't last but a few days. Figs will go bad.
3 days, maybe?
About 3 days maximum.
Okay. So we don't leave them in the fridge hardly ever, except overnight to can the next day.
Brenda, I'll tell you what. I would be calling the law. Because we had a friend who had that happen to him. He called the law, and the company that was doing the spraying for the farmer next to him had to come in and replace everything, the damage that he'd done on his property. They made him replace everything.
And two, there's something I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
She's lost food if it doesn't produce.
Yeah, they have to. They should have to pay for all that.
Yeah, but it makes you sick because you've lost your food that you raised, and you knew how it was being raised. And then they come spray, and now your ground's contaminated, I mean, we've had that happen on the fence rows, but do you guys like squash canned or frozen? I like mine canned. I do not like to freeze squash, but now I will freeze it if I'm going to fry it. But when you take it out, it goes mushy time that it thaws out. So if I'm going to fry squash, I take and don't let it thaw out. It's still frozen. I just run it under water just enough to break the ice off and make it wet. I go ahead and batter it and throw it in and fry it that way, because if you wait till it's thawed out, it's mushy and it's hard to deal with. Do you water bath them or when you can them? The figs, yes, you water bath.
Hello, Jared.
I have made a lot of fig preserves. I make a lot of them. You just candy them down. You put sugar in them and cook them till they just kind of turn into a sweet conglomerate of preserves. I don't know. But I've also done the strawberry figs, and I think we have videos on all this in the Deep South Cannon somewhere.
We have a lot of it in there.
I just don't know what all's in our canning videos because I forget from year to year. We've been doing this 2.5 years, so there is a lot of videos out there.
In that library, yeah.
Yeah, but I am going to do the whole figs. I think I've done a whole figs video before, but I'm going to do a new one or have it up shortly. Like I said, probably within 2 days.
Hopefully.
Then I know somebody asked this question when they were saying something about water bath and pressure canning. How do you know, because this is somebody that doesn't can, how do you know when to water bath and when to can? And it's very, very easy. Your fruits, your jellies, your jams, and your tomatoes, water bath. Then all your veggies.
Any acidic fruit, water baths.
Yeah, and all your veggies and all your meats are pressure canned. So that's the way you know the difference.
There's Rob Donaldson.
Hello from Afghanistan. It's 9:30 at night
there. Wow.
Oh.
I've missed seeing you around, man. I didn't know where you ended up at. So, and he's in Afghanistan. Good deal.
Well, he was still, I thought he was still there, or he was before, I thought.
There's Ms. Jen from the Nut House.
Yes. Are you getting cool weather, girl, in Southern California?
Our radar shows you're getting some pretty decent weather out there, cool-wise.
And we're getting the hot stuff.
Yeah, we're getting August weather in the middle of June, or at the end of June.
I'm like David Smith now. I like my figs straight off the tree. I'm not crazy about them any other way. I will eat them preserved. I like the strawberry figs, but if I'm going to eat them, when we pick them, I eat 3 or 4. While I'm in the house, I'll eat 3 or 4 off and on. And I like them fresh. Before I went to bed, I ate 2 before I went to bed last night.
But then said we're going to try to paint a sign on our barn that says chemical-free zone.
And they won't read it because you know they can't read. You have to put a poisonous sign with a line through it because they can't read anymore. They have to have pictures. So you're going to have to draw pictures on top of your barn.
Oh, S. Federley says, Danny loved the turkey videos. We were very reluctant to do those videos because, you know, with YouTube the way it is today and so many people have, I don't know, they have such weak stomachs and everything like that.
Very offended.
Very offensive, you know, about animals and stuff like that. But I told Wanda, I said, you know what? We'll put it up, and if it goes bad, we'll pull them down. But there's some people out there that would really love to see those videos, I think. And so we went for it, and it looks like YouTube didn't have too much of a problem with it, which really surprised us.
When I put the first video up, they demonetized us right off the bat. But they chose the thumbnail, and it was the turkey hanging skint.
Yeah.
And so I changed that thumbnail to the pretty turkey before it was skint.
Yeah.
And while it was still alive. And within 2 hours, they added the monetization back. So, and we put the second one up with the pretty turkey.
Pretty thumbnail, yeah.
Just changed part 1 and part 2 on it. And it didn't demonetize it. So we left it up. Our goal was, if they demonetized, to leave it up for about 2 to 3 days, take it down and offer it on Etsy to anybody that would want to buy it after that. But so far, they've left it up.
Yeah, we just decided to take a chance.
Now, rabbit videos is a little different. Everybody throws temper tantrums over the rabbit videos.
People do foot stomping stuff over rabbits.
Now, I have the video. I've never edited it. We did it months ago, and it's sitting there, and we won't even edit it, but we might try it.
We might try it at some point, yeah.
Okay, guys, these are my lady peas. I've got to try them, and Danny hadn't even tried them.
Yeah, I've been took a bite or 2 of mine. They taste a little different.
Well, there's no seasoning in them. All salt's all I seasoned them with.
That's fine, because then you can taste the pea.
They're a green pea. They're smaller than a BB. They're very, very small.
But I was just trying to think.
I love them. I could eat green peas like this.
David Smith said I may get married again so I can have food cooking.
Well, sometimes that's not the best thing to do, just to eat.
That's all right, S. Federley. You do what you have to do.
Y'all, there's nothing better than a fresh salad. And I have no lettuce in mine. It's just veggies, but it's awesome.
Debbie, that's right, because there ain't many people that have turkeys for pets. That's exactly right.
If they look at it as a pet, they have trouble.
Yeah. We've considered doing a pig butchering one. And we will see how that'll go. Charlotte says, "How's the critters? They all out of the corn patch right now. We do not have any problems with any critters anywhere. We got rid of, what I tell you, 13 of them the other day. I think we got rid of 13, and it seems like, who knows? Maybe we found that magic number that you know, maybe we won't have any more for a while."
We don't inoculate the peas and beans as far as field peas and butter beans and that. We have good germination here with that kind of stuff. We inoculate the English peas or the green peas, the early peas, I guess you would say. Now these are green peas, but they are not what you call green peas. I don't know how to explain that. These are field peas actually. They just have a green color. Maybe that's the better way to say it.
Yeah.
They're not the early English pea things.
They're field peas.
Moonchild says she got some lady peas and loves them. They're small. They're a little more aggravating to shell, but if they're ready, they shell just about as good as the others. It's just that they're small. And I've probably already shelled out at least 2.5 to 3 quarts of them in the last few weeks off those few containers. So they did really well for a small pea.
Yeah, Mark, we catch all of our animals live in a live trap, and then we dispatch of them very quickly. You know, it's just that when you come between me and my food source, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a deer, a rabbit, a squirrel, like I said in my other videos. I don't care what it is, a crow, a rat, whatever, it dies.
David's got a proposal now. Linda Smith said if he could cook, then he could marry her. We're gonna have a deep South.
That's kind of like one of them people looking for a partner, as long as they got a good bass boat.
Yeah. Well, they're both. She wouldn't have to change her last name. They're both Smiths.
Oh, true.
Hey, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, a lot of people think that I'm this cruel-hearted person that, you know, I kill everything just because I want to, and that's not true.
He hates killing things.
I actually hate killing anything.
Because I have chickens that need to be butchered, and he's going,
I keep putting it off and putting it off. Even the turkey, I gave the turkey so many opportunities. I was like, I'd go in the woods, I'd run them back to the house, go to the woods, run them back. I'd do it day after day after day.
I ran them off the porch.
Wanted to run them off the porch, the concrete carport, everything. And
out of gardens.
Finally, one day I walked out there and I said, you know, enough's enough. And I just dispatched of him. But it takes a while for me. But now with wild animals in the woods, you know, when I start losing my corn and I start losing my peaches and my figs and, you know, stuff like that, no, I'll dispatch instantly.
Fishing for wild turkeys. Maybe I missed something somewhere.
I don't have a bass boat. I don't watch sportsmen anymore.
Now somebody's asking how old David is.
There we go. There we go. We're going to have our own dating game here. That's an old movie. I'm telling my age now, ain't I?
Pretty much. Hey, Debbie. So right now, I am working on, and I'm fixing to have to hurry up and get off here and get back in there because it's time. I'm making cinnamon pickles, and some people call them Christmas pickles. I usually call them red hot pickles, and probably the video will be called red hot pickles. It's a process. It takes several days, so the video will be probably on crazy days, and it'll probably be toward the weekend or first of next week. Not really sure on that, how long, because it takes almost 4 days to make these pickles. Not that you're touching them for that amount of time.
No.
They've got to sit process by process by process. Several processes are overnight. So in order for them to be the perfect red hot pickle. And I used to make these for my kids, and they loved them. And I'm not making a lot of them, but I'm making probably about 4 or 5 little jars of them, just because I wanted to make some, and I wanted people to be able to try them. And I will probably keep some for Christmas this year. And whoever's here at Deep South for Christmas might get to try some red hot pickles.
That they might. Rob Donaldson said he's got a long delay there. He said, but it's a dry 80 degrees there in Kubal. It's 80 degrees when we get up in the morning. So yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, but theirs is dry, ours is humid.
Right. Yeah.
Right now it's not quite 100, is it?
It's the heat index is 95, 96 degrees. Wanda's phone's ringing. She's got to go. It's always something stupid anyway. We're trying to work on getting all these people's names took off our list here, and it don't always work. So, Laura Mountain, Laura wants to know: do the pickles stay crisp?
Yes, that's why it's taken so long for them, because you put them in lime, you put them in ice water, then in order to candy the cucumbers, it takes another 3 nights to go through the candying process. So you have something to do every morning when you get up with it.
David said the heat index in Laurel right now is 105. That's right about that
probably,
here.
yeah.
We're pretty close to that. Wanda, do you and Danny grow beets, and do you have a canning video on pickling beets? I grew beets the first year Wanda and I got married.
And I hate them.
And I love beets, but Wanda...
There's a jar in there.
I know.
This was 2013.
2013, Wanda goes, I ain't eating no beets.
I tried them.
They taste like dirt smells or something like that, you said. I don't remember what it was. You said you said it got too much of an earthy taste. But yeah, I used to eat them all the time. But now that I have this heart issue, vinegar seems to mess with my heart for some reason, so I have to be really careful.
Okay, they want to know, do I use pectin for jellies and jams? Yes, I use Sure Gel brand, and usually the regular. I don't use the low sugar. And when we did our canning video, the canning class the other day, several people said on top of my jars it said blueberry syrup. Yes, it did, because when everybody left, it still looked like syrup. So after they left and my jars had cooled, I wrote blueberry syrup on it and took a picture of it. The next day, it was gelled. So for whatever reason, blueberry just took longer to gel, and I know mulberry takes longer to gel. So in my video, it does say syrup, and you're not crazy, but I didn't even pay any attention to that because Heather did it for me. Heather did my video, and I have to give Heather from Lori Family Homestead a big shout out, because she did all the filming the day of the canning, and she put the video together and helped get it out yesterday, and she did an awesome job. I couldn't have done, if I'd have done it, it would not have looked as good, just put it that way. She did a great job.
Sam Penn says he missed seeing the goats and Mr. and Mrs. Dexter. We'll have to get a video up on that.
I'm in the house so much. I had to go out and just visit with them this morning because they all wanted love.
Mm-hmm. Rob said he's going to stop on his way back home in Kuwait and get me a camel.
A camel? What are we doing with a camel?
I don't know. It's so dry and hot here, we probably could use him.
Well, he could tote things back and forth.
I might use him to plow with. Who knows?
That's a new one. I hadn't thought of a camel. Wouldn't we be cool if we had a camel?
We would. We'd be the talk. We'd be the talk of the neighborhood anyway.
We would have to.
We could ride around in the neighborhood on a camel. People could probably freak out though. They probably ain't never seen a camel. Okay, guys, this is my figs.
I've got dessert, but I hadn't got there yet.
Eileen says it's a 61 and a stiff wind. Oh my gosh, that's almost like wintertime here.
Pretty much. Hey, Christy. Your videos have to go according to weather and seasons. I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we eat in season usually.
That's what we try to do, is teach people to eat in season. We're eating fresh as much as possible. We're eating some canned, but we're trying to eat fresh when it's fresh, can the rest, and then during the winter we're eating canned food. And they say you milk camels. Wow.
I ain't milking no camel now.
That would be kind of funny. I could see that.
I milk cows, I milk goats and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm gonna milk no camel.
They're so big.
Well, maybe I could stand up and milk him. Who knows?
You wouldn't need a stool.
Maybe I wouldn't need a stool.
Oh, that'd be fun. There's Sammy Joe. And the one thing I was thinking of was with the cannon and things like that, everybody asked us why we have so much food. They think we're hoarding food.
No, we don't hoard no food.
If you figure, and one lady did it in the chat in one of my videos, she said she always thought it was a lot of food till she got to figuring, and she said, look, if you eat 3 meals a day, 365 days a year, that's a lot of jars.
Mm-hmm.
If you figure 1 jar per meal for 2 people, and that's kind of how Danny and I figure it, only we figure the overall amount of jars, then we break it down. He likes English peas, and if I want to cook English peas at least twice a week, then I need 2 jars times 52, which is 104 jars. We did not get 104 jars. Mm-hmm. So he has to cut back the intake of English peas. He gets them 1.5 times a week.
Yeah.
So that's how we figure it. The green beans, we always usually exceed what we need in green beans. So year to year, we have some left over. Then carrots. We try to figure at least 1 jar of carrots a week. So that's 52 jars of carrots. I've over exceeded that this year because I
get 2 jars a week now.
Yeah. Well,
almost.
And I wanted some for soups and stews and things like that. So I need to go on up to 100 jars if I want it.
Yeah.
And that's how we figure, because we do not go to town and buy vegetables unless we are absolutely 100% got to have it. And there's not very many times we've got to have something like that. So all our veggies are from deep south.
Mm-hmm.
Probably what would be an exception with a veggie? Lettuce. I have bought lettuce, but I've quit buying lettuce. I've taught myself not to eat lettuce.
The only time we buy lettuce is if we eat it out of season.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to train ourselves not to eat anything out of season.
Yeah. And the other would have been onions, because we could not keep enough onions. This is the first year we've actually raised onions and been successful at it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were not the big, huge onions that other people get, but they were middle-sized onions, and I was okay with that. I've got plenty of onions for the next few months in the freezer, and that was one thing that we were buying. Was onions.
Yeah, we were buying onions, but we're not going to have to buy any this year. Hopefully.
Not for a long time, anyway.
Not for a very long time.
And plus, we have green onions, and
we've got our Egyptian walking onions now.
Yeah, we can use those things if we need to. They're out there.
Vicky says she just come out of the garden pulling all her carrots. She must be in a cooler zone than we are, because carrots have been gone for months here.
Oh, Saddle Ridge says the son came in and said he wants to learn to can, so they're buying a pressure canner. Good.
Good.
David says he don't eat Hot Pockets out of season. I guess in the summer you don't like Hot Pockets. That's wintertime stuff. Huh? So you can warm up.
Oh, let's see. Laura says, is that due to heat and dry land? I'm not sure which question that went with. If it's has to do with carrots, that's definitely yes.
Have we ever tried to grow lettuce in the greenhouse in the wintertime? We did.
We did.
And we ended up with a lot of little bugs in there. Now, we grew Malabar spinach.
Yep.
And I can eat that in my salads. We've got Malabar out in the herb garden this time. So it 2 plants doing great. The pressure canner.
Presto.
Presto. We like the Presto. I think I looked this morning because I just ordered 2 new seals to stick up, and I think it was like $78 or something on Amazon.
Let's see.
Yeah, she says, I'm not counting when family and friends drop in.
We don't have any family who drops in, and we have very few friends. So
no,
we don't have to worry about
look,
that.
Our video show people over here all the time. That's bull. No,
okay, well, I tried, okay?
We have people all the time.
Yeah, I know. There's people
and
always
we
here.
add that
Most of them are not family, though. We can honestly say that.
Yeah.
Most of them are friends.
Oh, Johanna just canned a bushel of peanuts. Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I still got peanuts.
Using our recipe. Good deal.
They're still good. Peanuts is awesome. David said
they hate Hot Pockets.
Oh, well, for a single guy or a single person anyway, if you don't have kids and stuff and you're by yourself, this is what I found when I was single. Things like stir fry are quick, easy mixes. You can buy your meat and cut up strips of stir fry and freeze individual amounts. And that way, when you need it, you just take out that little bit of stir fry. You can freeze your peppers, your onions. If you want carrots, broccoli, you could freeze all that in a little mini packs and just take them out. What you need, 10 minutes, your stir fry is ready to eat and you're good. Stir fry is a great way for a single person to live. And it's not that when you buy kind of in big quantities and package it yourself, easy done.
Doreen says, which canning jars do you use? We only use Ball or Kerr. If we happen to go with Mason or one of the others, we do not use their lids. We only use the silver lids from Ball. And let's see. And do you vacuum seal any vegetables for the freezer? We don't vacuum seal any jar stuff and put in the freezer. We do vacuum seal with the plastic bags to go in the freezer. Occasionally, not a lot.
No, because we usually eat anything in the freezer. We don't waste the vacuum seal.
Our stuff doesn't stay in the freezer very long. I
vacuum seal dried things and put them in storage. Like I dehydrated tomatoes and then I vacuum sealed them. We dehydrated English peas and carrots. Then I put them in the vacuum seal bags and save those. Mixes, like if we want gravy mixes, taco mixes, anything like that, we bought up some of those, we vacuum sealed those and put them in storage. Now I'm making my own mixes like tacos and stuff like that because Danny doesn't need the chemicals that are in some of them. So, but I do have it done.
Mama Tribe Homestead says, what kind of greens can be planted now? Collards or chard? If you live where it's hot, none. Greens and chard, any greens are cool weather crops, and they need to be planted when the daytime temperatures are no hotter than 60 degrees. Let's see.
What do we like dehydrated out of the garden? I love the tomatoes with the basil and the Parmesan cheese on it. The little mini pizzas. That's probably my favorite thing dehydrated. We're not big dehydrated people.
No.
I have it because it lasts longer. But we don't even do like dried beans and stuff. We hardly ever eat that kind of stuff. We have it because it stores well. But with Danny's condition and the gas that it creates, he doesn't like to eat dried beans very often. So what dehydrator do we use? The Excalibur. I love the Excalibur. We have 2 of the little round ones, and they do not hold their temperature. They don't dehydrate anything like they should. But the Excalibur is fabulous, and it's got a little dial that says veggies or yogurt or whatever you're doing, fruit roll-ups, whatever. You can make anything with it. It keeps its temperature.
Country Living says, Danny, do you guys ever dry any of your fruits and veggies? We dried a few figs. We dried a few tomatoes.
Carrots, English
peas. We have a lot of stuff that's dehydrated and dried, and vacuum sealed in jars.
One time we waxed rings. I'd like to know why. Here it is so humid that especially the gold rings will rust really, really bad. And when Danny called Ball and was asking about that they told him to put wax on the tops of the jars, that would prevent them from rusting. And it does help, but I found that they still start rusting. Some of them that even have the wax on them are starting to rust, and they're probably 3 to 5 years old.
Yeah, about 5 years old, yeah.
And without a dishwasher, getting the wax off is hard. It's aggravating, and I don't want it in. I mean, you can do boiling water and get it off. I get that. But then you've got all this wax stuff in your pot, and then you got to clean it. Danny goes out and torches the things.
I have a torch, yeah.
And gets it off. And
take a blowtorch and melt all the wax off.
So that's, that's kind of how we did it. And we quit with the waxing. We hardly ever wax anything anymore. It just got to be too much trouble trying to get it off the jars. And 2, when you open the top, some of the wax.
A lot of times the wax falls in on your food, yeah.
And I didn't like that either.
Oh.
So.
Trying to catch up on some of them comments there. Make sure I try to read as many of them as I can, but I know my eyes on it.
Lisa likes the refrigerator pickles. Yes, I've made a batch of those this year, and now I'm doing the red hot pickles. I'll have a video on that later on Crazy Days, but pickles is something that unless you use an awful lot of them, cucumbers can add up in a hurry, and you got to find new ways to deal with them. And when my kids were little, we had buckets and buckets and buckets of cucumbers, and you can only make so many pickles and eat so many pickles and relish. So I made the red hot pickles, and that was their candy pickles in a jar for the year.
Yeah. How do you get to the farmer says, how do you feel about storing the jars without the rings? Recently learned about that. We never leave a ring on a jar.
Never have.
We always take our rings off our jars, because what happens is that ring will actually rust to that lid, and then you can't get it off really. So we try not to ever leave a ring on a jar. After it's been canned at least 24 hours, we unscrew the ring off, and that way too, if a jar happens to go bad, you'll know it quicker.
Can you plant squash in South Carolina? You should be able to.
Can squash still be planted?
Still.
You read it wrong. Can squash still be planted in South Carolina? Yes, we just planted some in our field, and we're actually getting new squash on.
It's just starting.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, my dessert. This is one of my muffins that I made for the canning class. I had a couple left. I broke it up, and I poured some of Albany Mountain's spiced peach syrup over this thing. And y'all, her spiced peach syrup, Heidi Laurie was here and she tried it. And she said it was Christmas in a jar. It is a peach syrup with red hots in it, or I'm assuming red hots because that's what it tastes like. The cinnamon.
Laura says Walmart has a Presto canner for around $80. Is that a good price?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's about the average price. Let me say that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them can be $70-something, but if you have to pay for shipping, it can go more than that. So around $80 is a pretty good price, because that's almost what I paid for mine. What, 20 years ago? I mean, it's not. They hadn't changed that much in price.
Yeah. There's Miss April. She says she loves cute salad.
Yeah, she's been in for a while.
Yeah, my salad usually is cucumbers, tomatoes, and whatever else, peppers. If all I have is cucumbers and tomatoes, that's my salad.
Let's see. Rebecca says, how do you know when a jar goes bad? The lid on the top loses its vacuum. You can know if you push on top of that lid and it goes pop, 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 up and down, it's already bad. Don't even eat it.
It's not sealed.
It's not sealed. Do not eat it.
If you see any specks of anything inside that you didn't put in there, then you know not to eat it. If you open it and it doesn't smell like what you put in there, like if you open tomatoes, when you smell of it, it should smell like tomatoes. It should smell like the tomatoes you put in there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't smell funky or bad. Any kind of weird soured smell, throw it out.
Doreen Schmidt says, do you offer tours of your homestead?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to email me at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
Selva Ridge says, when the description says 8 quart, is that 8 quart jars will fit or 8 quarts of water inside? That's 8 quart jars will fit inside a canner.
No, 7 is fitting in ours. I don't know. Now,
8.
I've never been able to get 8 in ours. 7. Ours is a 7 quart, but if it says 8, it might hold.
It might hold 8.
It may be bigger or round than ours, but ours holds 7.
Does ours say 7 quart canner though?
I don't know what it says. Let me go look. I've still got the box. Believe it or not, Danny keeps the box.
I keep the boxes, man. I still got all my stuff goes back in the boxes that come from the store in. So Wanda can check on that right quick because it's just sitting right in here, and that way we'll know for sure. Charlotte says, yes, Laura, I gave $77 online for Presto 23 quart canner. So yeah, that's
ours is a 16 quart.
Okay, so if the canner
8 would be the little cooker thing. So if you're looking at an 8 quart, no, that will not. You can't.
No, that's how many. That's the little one, ain't it?
Yeah, that's the small one.
That's a little pressure. That's a pressure cooker, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want at least 16 quart or bigger, and like Charlotte says, a 23 is awesome.
Yeah.
That is that gives you enough room for the water and everything else. Ours is an older one, and it tends to be short and squatty. And when you get the quart jars in there, the lid is just right above it.
Yeah.
But they knew that when they made it, and there's no issues. But like our new big pot that I got, our stainless pot. That thing is deep. It's
like
huge.
22 quarts on that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's tall.
Yeah, it's just real tall.
And it's awesome. I love this new stainless steel pot.
Moonchild says that her Presto holds 7 quarts, but it's called a 16 quart canner.
That's what ours is.
Ours is the same way. Yeah. Wanda just went and checked on it.
Hi, Jim.
Pressure cooker is not the same as a pressure canner, so watch out for that. That's exactly right, Gail.
And all these people that are pressure canning in a Instapot, it's going to blow up on you one day. Just saying. That thing scares me to no end. I've got one, and I've used it a few times, and I probably will use it on occasion, but I would never, ever tell somebody to put glass jars in an Instant Pot,
yeah,
and can in it, because I'm thinking that's one of the most dangerous stupid stunts that ever would have been, because at some point it's going to blow and glass is going everywhere.
Christy says, if the food goes bad, can the jars be sterilized and used again?
Yes.
Yes, just put a touch of bleach in your water, just a little bit, not much, and in your dishwater, and it'll, when you scrub it out, it'll kill anything in it. You use your eyes, your nose, and your ears on your canned stuff. What Mother used to tell me is what Charlotte said. That's exactly right. We do the same thing.
If you opened a can of raviolis, say from town, and you opened it up and it had white stuff in there, and you knew your raviolis didn't or wasn't supposed to come with white stuff in it, you would throw that can out. Or if you open your raviolis and it had a weird smell and it didn't smell like that pasta sauce that it's supposed to, you would throw that out. Same thing with your canned goods. You just pay attention to smell, taste. I mean, if you even pickles. Now, Amanda and I did the pickles from 2010.
Yeah.
We tasted them. They still smelled good. They looked good. that even still tasted good. They just had the strongest vinegar taste ever because
Yeah,
after
because they've been in there for so long.
2010, 8 years.
8 years.
They were 8 years old and they were still good, but they were very strong. The vinegar had just really.
Debbie says, have you ever canned in the half-gallon jars? I haven't. I personally have not.
I've never tried that. Now, I do the refrigerator pickles in them, but you just sit them in the refrigerator.
Right. But they're not being put under any kind of pressure or anything like that. I don't know if those jars are actually made to can in like that.
Now, Grampy says they have one that does the gallon jars. Okay. That's what I'm saying. The one that's really tall, you could do that. I just don't, mine is so short, nothing would like that would fit in. Quarts just do.
Johanna Adams says, when they bought their house 20 years ago, the previous owner left all their canning jars in the attic, so she felt like she won the lottery. Some jars had lids with dates from the 70s. Wow.
That's crazy. But see, lots of times that kind of stuff, Danny's mom still has stuff in the cellar down there.
Oh gosh, at my parents' house, we could go get hundreds of jars of stuff. I mean,
we would just have to clean all the yucky stuff.
Yeah, we had to clean the jars out.
And some of it was still good. When we went down there last year, there was still jars in there that were still good, but there's a lot that had went bad. Lou
says, have y'all ever canned snap beans with vinegar? I have.
I have.
My wife that passed away used to use vinegar in her green beans quite often. So, the real reason, let me say this, the real reason that she did that was because her family water bath canned their green beans, and they did it by putting vinegar in it, and they would water bath them for like 2 to 2.5 hours. Now, I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
But that's what that family, they were an old family, you know, that's the way they did things, and they kind of stuck to it. None of them ever got sick or anything, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Country living, we use our half-gallon jars for the same thing, dried vegetables, fruits, and so on. Yeah.
And I use mine for the refrigerator pickles because I can put a half-gallon jar in the door of my refrigerator. And sometimes I'll have as many as 3 or 4 because the refrigerator pickles say that they last 6 months, but I've got some that's a year old and I'm still eating on them. So it doesn't hurt them.
Mama Tried Homestead said, would you use jars that have been sitting outside for an extended period of time? As long as I knew what was in that jar to start with, and it didn't have any kind of chemicals put in it, poisons or anything like that, yeah, I would still use it. It doesn't bother me.
And the old mayonnaise jars, I used those for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Danny and I don't have any.
We have tomatoes in them right now.
Is that what that? Oh, yeah, we do. We use them for tomatoes
But you can't get those jars anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's why they quit making them.
Lots of times I wouldn't pressure can in those anymore, especially the older they get.
You can't pressure can in them anyway.
Well, I used to.
But
once every now and then I'd have one bust.
They will bust, yeah.
But I always did my jellies, jams. If you did quarts and anything, mostly you do pints, but you can do them in the mayonnaise jars if you want a big amount. You got a big family. But I would do tomatoes and fruits. Anything you water bath, I would do in the mayonnaise jars if you still have them.
Sam Finn says, do senior citizens get a break on fishing and hunting license down there? Yes. If you're 65 years of old, you do not have to have a license unless, I'm not sure about non-resident people. So you may have to check on that one. But they may still not charge non-resident people.
Somebody was saying something about their gasket sticks. You need to oil it and use vegetable oil, right?
Oh, olive oil.
Olive oil.
I don't like vegetable oil because it's got chemicals in it.
It's according to what they have, but if you have olive oil, and don't coat it like dripping, just take and wipe it around and give it some more elasticity, I guess you would say, because that canner gasket will dry out, and all you're doing is adding back some moisture into it with the oil.
Mama Tried Homestead says, would sun exposure cause problems? It won't hurt the jar at all. But now if you've got food in that jar, then you do not need it sitting where the light can hit it. It needs to be put in a dark place. That was the reason the old jars were dark blue and some of them were green and different colors like that, is because to keep down sun exposure.
Yes.
And they're actually going back to the blue and green jars.
They're just expensive.
They're very expensive.
We were shocked at the price of jars.
Yeah.
What time of the day is good to plant cotton? Well, I would say late evening,
Always
before dark,
always
especially
plant,
here.
Yeah, always
Brian
plant
and
late.
Heather.
Yeah, always plant late in the afternoon, always.
Yeah.
Don't ever plant anything early in the morning unless it's going to rain that day. And if it's going to rain that day, you can plant in the morning. But if it's not going to rain, you plant in the evening.
Okay, somebody wants to know, is there a way to make my Crazy Days videos autoplay one after another?
Yes.
I could go...
No, it's somebody on their computer.
Oh, on theirs?
Yeah, because over to the side where it says recommended videos, if you look up to the top on your computer screen, you'll see a little button up there that says autoplay.
Okay.
And you can flip it over and turn it on or turn it off. We have ours turned off because I don't like my computer to just keep running. I turn mine off, so when my video's over, my computer turns off. Doesn't play any more videos, but you can go to her playlist and...
I could do a playlist of all the videos, but it would take me
a while. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have yours in a playlist?
I have some playlist. And yes, you could, each playlist, you could, when you get to the playlist, it'll do the automatic.
Yeah.
But then when one playlist is over, you'd have to go to the next one. I don't have all my videos in one playlist that you can just put on auto. It would take me a while, and I just don't have the kind of time.
Gary says, why do you prefer ball silver lids over the gold ball ones? Because the gold ones rust in half the time. Okay,
now Country High says, do we lubricate the canner seal each time before each cannon or what? No, I don't. I only lubricate mine once every...
You only lubricate it if you're going to let it sit up for a while.
Yeah, like when you first take it out of the box, beginning of cannon season, I would say lubricate it then. If you have, say, a month of space, you don't use the canner, I would say lubricate it then. I would check it every, like, before you start in the day. Once you start, you shouldn't have to do anything because I do like 3 and 4 canners a day, and I don't do anything to it in between because it's already hot. I keep the lid on the canner while I'm processing the next batch, and when I get them ready, then the lid and the canner's still hot, and we just keep rolling.
Gilliam Akers says, so how are the mosquitoes over in Mississippi? They are atrocious here in Texas, just awful. We haven't had enough rain here to have mosquitoes very bad, so we don't have a bad mosquito problem. We'll get one every now and then, but not bad.
Get to the farm in their 1248 time message tells you how to play all of them on a channel.
Price of jars going up because of supply and demand. Many of us are canning. Yeah, we've noticed that.
And we found out because I checked online versus going to Walmart and buying. And I can go to Walmart and under $10 buy any of the jars. Usually $7.98, $8.98. Online, some of them were charging as much as $12 and $14 for the same jars. Then you had to pay shipping on top. So if you have a local Walmart that carries them, it is cheaper. Even Fred's, where else had them? Dollar General? I don't know if Dollar General.
They only had the Mason.
Yeah, but I mean, if you need to save money and start stocking up, check in your local places first before ordering online. I would order online as a last resort because those people are, I mean, I've been checking prices because I like to order online.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are really getting outrageous online compared to buying them in the town. And then you got to pay shipping on top, so you're not saving money lots of times.
Oh yeah, my daughter says the yellow flies are bad this year. They are bad, really bad.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, she said to give Ellie Mae, Honey, and Zoe a hug. I got to go out there and talk to them again. Do we have more than one pressure canner? No.
No, we only have one.
Costco, they said, has canning jars.
Yeah.
Lots of times your Winn-Dixie's, places like that. The
Our feeds, I mean, our hardware store
hardware stores
Yeah.
carry them.
Yeah.
Things like that. We're not having we had just the flies around the animals, and Danny's been trying to deal with that. Somebody's Rural King sold out of pints.
But their lids are $1 less than local Walmart.
That's a good price then. Yeah. Thrift stores found some used jars. Sometimes you can, because people just don't want those jars. I mean, 90% of the people in the world don't even care to can. What are yellow flies? Come to Mississippi, Jen. Come back.
Some people call them deer flies. Some people call them dog flies. I mean, they're just a little yellow fly will bite the fool out of you.
And hurt
and whip you up. I mean.
And they come, you're not even paying them any attention till they bite.
Yeah, you don't even know it till they done lit on you and bit you.
Yeah.
Charlotte said they're bad in the northern part of Mississippi too.
Yeah. All right, so I got to go fix my
your pickles.
My pickles. I got to put my red hot stuff on my pickles and get it ready for later today. It's going to sit till tomorrow. Then we're going to red hot it again, and it'll sit till the next day.
So
I'll be making red hot pickles.
So you be making?
I be making.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Okay.
What have we already done today? Red Ripper peas. We forgot to mention that.
We canned 7 quarts of Red Ripper peas.
Yes. Those things, Danny's figured out, they're going to be our go-to.
Red Ripper pea will be my go-to pea from now on. You know, because these things are immune, look like to anything.
Yeah.
And they're growing like 10, 15 feet out across the field. I mean, they're just...
they're just going wild.
They're taking the whole place over. And there's nothing messing with them. They didn't have no lice on them, no aphids, no...
They're pretty, even though it's
beautiful.
Sun and...
They're out in the middle of a ball open field in this scorching hot sun, and they're just thriving. Yeah. You know, so they're going to be my new go-to pea.
It's a field pea called Red Rippers.
Yeah.
They turn a red, purplish red color when they're ready, and the pea itself is really pink, and they're gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And,
they can. The jar canned looks beautiful.
Yeah, so did really. Red Hot's like the candy. Yes, like the candy.
Let's see here.
It's called Red Hot. Well, I call them Red Hot pickles, but some people call them Christmas pickles. Some of them are calling them cinnamon pickles. So they do have Red Hots. What price are you finding for canning lids with rings at Walmart? Almost $5.50.
Oh, gosh.
With the ring, we don't buy rings. We only buy the flats, and the flats are less than $2.
The flats are about, well, if you get the wide mouth, they're over $2. The regular ones are under $2, just a little under $2, about $1.78, something like that.
We have enough rings to supply all of
but they're asking about the canning jars, I think.
Yeah, with the rings, we don't ever buy any extras at all.
The canning jars with the rings at Walmart here runs about, depending on which one you're getting, pints run about $8 or $9. Quarts run, regular mouth quarts run around 9 something. Large mouth quarts run about around $11 for them. Yeah,
and see, Christy said the aphids are already hitting her pink-eyed purple holes. They've already hit ours, and they're only up. They're not, well, they started blooming. They're starting to
bloom, yeah.
And we've already had aphids starting to hit them.
Yeah.
And SJ says that the Red Rippers have leaves like her yard long, and they produce until frost. So.
Well, if that's the case, they'll be covered that whole pasture up down there.
Nothing but pink. Danny's having to wear hip.
I have to wear snake leggings and everything when I go in and things.
And there's no grass in them.
No, there's no grass.
The vines are so you can't see anything.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Christy says she wished she could find butter on sale to can. Walmart has the best price that I know of right now, and I get the unsalted butter because that's what I can is the unsalted butter, and it's $3 something I think. I can't remember. I think it was $3
Like
something.
$3 a pound. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
$3 something a pound.
$3 something a pound. Yeah.
My Kentucky home says Aldi's has it for $2.69. We do not have an Aldi's.
We don't have an Aldi's. Nope.
Anywhere near us.
Nowhere near that I even know of.
The two nearest towns, I think one of them has a Whole Foods. On the coast, is there a Whole Foods?
Yeah, on the coast. Yeah.
On the coast, there's a Whole Foods. When you go to Hattiesburg, as far as I know, there's none of those type stores there at all.
Yeah, Homestead remembers we can a lot of our butter until our girls get big enough to actually give us enough milk we can make our own.
Yes, I've got a canning butter video on Crazy Days.
Yeah.
I think it's on Crazy Days.
I think it's on Crazy Days.
I think I've actually got one on Deep South too from a year or so ago or 2 years ago. All right, so I got to go because my time's run out on my pickles.
Okay, we got to get off of here.
They've been simmering for a while.
Yep, we got to get off of here and try to see if we can't get the rest of our day and make it productive as the first part has been. So thank you guys for staying in here with us and chit-chatting with us. I hope we was able to answer some of y'all's questions, and until the next video.
And he decides to start his gardening class. He knows he's got to do this.
I know I got to do it. It's time. I have no time.
We're not sure if we need to do it in the afternoon, the morning, nighttime. We'll both give out. We do the Saturday Night Live. It's hard to at night to motivate to come in here and do something else.
Yeah, it's daylight till 8:30.
So for us, the time is better either 10 to 11 in the morning or 2 to 3 in the afternoon, right?
As long as it's hot outside and I can be inside. But if it's cool outside, I have to be outside.
And so he's thinking of only doing it once a week, and then we've got to narrow it down to what day.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.